Good day, you beautiful people of YouTube. It's the Mad Marine here, and today we're going to be talking about the Glock. The best Glock to own, but the Glock that really no one needs. And we're going to be talking about the Glock 32. Now, you may be saying to yourself, Mad, what is a Glock 32? And then you may be able to read and say, Mad, who needs 357? More importantly, 357 SIG. And I will tell you why you need it. But first, do me a solid. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. That helps the channel grow, and maybe I can do more cool stuff for you people. And of course, we're going to need to do one of those pesky safety checks, because if I don't, y'all will get me. Alright, so there is nothing in the barrel, nothing on the face of the slide, and no magazine inserted. So we should be pretty safe. We're going to go ahead and point the gun at the fridge and fire off into the fridge, and the fridge lives one more day. Alright, so now that we've covered our safety and the shameless self-promotions here, let's talk about the Glock, and we're going to talk about the Glock 32. This is the Glock that everyone should own, but no one needs. It's really the best Glock to own. And why am I saying this? Well, there's some extra things down here. Now, 357 SIG, here's the regular magazine capacity for this. It's basically the same as a Glock 23, and it holds 13 rounds. In fact, the magazines are pretty much exactly the same for these calibers. Let me see if I can show you. So each one is going to hold 13 rounds, pretty much the exact same magazine follower. You can run either round through it. So that's something convenient. So you can run either magazine through it. But I like 357 SIG mags just because they say 357 SIG. And of course you get all the benefits of 357 SIG. Now you might be saying to yourself, Mad, you're crazy. 357 SIG is a dead round. And I would not disagree with you. 357 SIG is pretty much almost a dead round. However, in my humble opinion, and even the stats, I would say 357 SIG is better than 40 Smith & Wesson, and better than 9mm. Blasphemy. Well, yes, blasphemy. Here's a reason why it's better. And here I'll tell you why it's not better. Number one is it's generally much more expensive than 9mm. That's one reason. Second of all, it has reduced magazine capacity compared to 9mm. So for here, you're going to get 13 rounds, and the same size mag, you'll get 15 rounds. So you get 2 less with the 357 SIG. So something to consider. However, let's talk about differences real quick. The big difference is this can get you at least 20 to sometimes 80% more muzzle velocity and more power out of a 357 SIG versus even a 9mm. The other thing is, compared to the 40, 357 SIG has much bigger expansion cavity compared to a 40 or even 45. Now, I'm really pressing some buttons, I know. I can already see in the comment section how this is going to play out. And if you don't believe me, go do your own research. But I'm throwing it out. There's something called expansion cavity, and you have to be going a certain speed depending on the bullet, and depending on the weight of the bullet, and determines how much the round will expand. And 40 and 45 are not going fast enough. Well, definitely 45 isn't, but 40 is barely going fast enough out of the barrel to get much expansion. Now, with the right ammo and in close enough range, not a big deal, right? But if you get farther out, kind of an issue. Now, 9mm has a pretty decent track record of expansion. However, at distances, maybe not so much. The other thing is 357 SIG at 100 yards doesn't drop very much. It's a very flat shooting round, which is nice. If you've ever shot 9mm at distance, you'll notice it. 9mm at 100 yards has a 10-inch drop. Now you're saying to yourself, I'm not shooting 9mm at 100 yards. If you did, it's a 10-inch drop. You got to account for it. Does 10 inches maybe mean that you were missing your target? I don't know. That's you. But it's something to account for. And now you may be saying, GMAD, you're talking about all these different ammos and stuff like that, but how do I actually get my 357 or my Glock 32 to shoot this? Very simply, you have conversion barrels for everything you need. Now, this right here is a 40 Smith & Wesson barrel, and it's, a conversion barrel. It'll fit right in there, no big deal. Same thing with the 9mm. 9mm conversion barrel, fits right in there, no big deal. Now you can shoot 3 calibers out of this one gun. But wait, there's more. If you got really crazy, you could get one of these Advantage Arms 22 conversions and throw the slide, or take your slide off that one and throw it on there, and you can now shoot 22 essentially out of one pistol. Or if you wanted to be really cool, you just get a whole new slide, and now you have another weapon in your arsenal. Now, you choose what you want to do here, but the idea of being able to shoot 4 different calibers out of one gun is pretty awesome. Now, you may be saying to yourself, well, Mad, can I do that out of a Glock 23? Absolutely, you can. However, a 40 conversion barrel for a Glock 32 is way cheaper than a conversion barrel for a 357 SIG or 357 SIG barrel for a Glock 23. Did I say that right? So getting this barrel for this is super cheap compared to getting a well, let me grab it over here and we're clear. For a 23 barrel, or to get a 23 for a 357 SIG barrel is way more money. So it's more money to do it that way. And the other thing is, prior to the pandemic and panic and all that other stuff, a Glock 32, no one wanted it. Like, no one wanted these. So things were super cheap. They're usually law enforcement trade-ins. And I think the only federal agency that still uses these is the U.S. Marshal Service. Or no, Air Marshal Service. The U.S. Air Marshal Service still uses these. And I think they're looking to change over to 9mm here shortly. I actually met a Air Marshal recently at my range, had a great chat with him about 357 SIGs and just, his job and stuff. And basically it's like, it's the worst job in the world. He's put handcuffs on one person in 14 years. The other guy said other Air Marshal I had met years ago said it was the worst job in the world. You fly all the time. You get stuck in cramped seats. You don't earn any hotel point or Sky Mile points. And he had more pairs of compression socks than he did real socks. And so, that was kind of it. Now, you do get hotel points, apparently. By the way, if you guys aren't familiar, Ameriglow sights, these things are awesome. I really enjoy them. And I think they might even they at least have a presence in Georgia, in Roswell, Georgia. So, knowing that now, moving forward, I didn't know they were based in Georgia, or at least had a presence here in Georgia. So I'm going to probably be purchasing more of their great stuff. Well, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Depending on how good my editing abilities are, you will find out that the camera died. That's right. The batteries were on the way out. I thought I could make it to the end, and apparently I was wrong. But I did want to come back and finish up this quick review of basically the Glock 32 and basically say this is a great gun to own. The ability to essentially run 4 different calibers out of one weapon is huge. You can still use just about any magazines, with the exception of the 22s. So if you got the 357 SIG mags or the 40 mags, you can use any of these mags with all the calibers with the exception of 22. Now, the 9mm may not function quite as reliably as it would if you'd used regular 9mm mags, but you can. And the 357 SIG and 40 mags are exactly the same. You don't have to change. You could just run all 40s and run, the 40 and 357 through them, or you can run 357 SIG mags out of the 40s. Both of these mags are fairly inexpensive. Even now, we're in January, January 21st, 2021. And I think I picked up a bunch of these for like $20 just a week or two ago. And again, I'm still seeing these pretty cheap around as well. 9mm mags, a little bit more, but nothing crazy yet. Now, that being said, am I encouraging you to go out and buy a Glock 32 today? No. Like, if you're not already in the game, maybe this isn't the best use of your money. However, for me, if I go to a store now, I can look for 9, I can look for 40, I can look for 357 SIG, and I can look for 22. And it runs out of one gun. It's very easy. If you don't have a ton of money and you can't afford multiple firearms, but maybe out of every paycheck, you can save your pennies and dollars, and you can finally buy a conversion barrel for it, or a conversion barrel for this one, and you'll accumulate these extra calibers. And in the long run, it's a lot cheaper than buying, multiple firearms that are designated for that particular caliber. So this gives you options. I'm looking forward to it, testing it out more. I've enjoyed the 357 SIG round. I've shot them before, and I've always enjoyed shooting them. They're a little snappy, but the clear stats are 357 SIG is a superior round to any other of these calibers I have currently on the table. That being said, there are some negatives. One, cost and availability. I think I said also at the very beginning of the video, this is kind of a dead round. What I mean by that, it's just not common. Not very many people have it in stock. Not very many people use it. It's just one of these rounds that just came out probably about 4 years too late. I think so the 40 came out in, I think, 1990, and 357 SIG came out in like 1994, and it just came out like 4 years too late. I think if these two had came out at the same time, this would be much more predominant. Also, the cost is an issue. This never caught on a huge bit, so because it didn't catch on as much, it was more expensive to produce, and this is so cheap. And even still to this day, we're still finding 9mm about actually on par with 357 SIG. This is 357 SIG is about 4 cents more right now than standard 9mm that I was finding online. I'm not sure what those prices are in the stores because, again, it doesn't come in often. But most Joes are looking for the 9mm. Ain't nobody looking for 357 SIG except for me and a couple of other jokers. So this could be an option for you to kind of beat out the ammo scare and ammo shortage. People aren't buying rounds that they don't need, which is another reason for perhaps other calibers. That being said, there is limitations of that. Anyway, I think I've made this video quite too long, but I hope it's been interesting for you guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. There are other pistols that you can do this with as well. I won't go into that. But anyway, if you ever have any questions, reach out. Again, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. That does help the channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. And again, always reach out. Happy to help, and I enjoy your comments. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will catch you later. Mad Marine, signing off.